Statement of issues and reasons. All I write and say, without first-hand knowledge of, I write and say based on information and belief of interpreted facts, present in court record and interpreted in good faith. My father, Henry Ramo's dying wish was for me to prosecute Josephine's actual trust fraud. J. Tyler Ray was Josephine's attorney at the time and over trust properties for case 13 CVD 867 that Henry accused Josephine of actual fraud on August 9th and 10th of 2022 in open court on the stand.
But the next day, so I left at 9 o'clock the next morning, April 2, 9 o'clock, came back, 1:30, 2 o'clock, she robbed my house. Assets were gone from the trust, one to one, but they were plentiful. But I want to know why my ex-wife stole all that property and still has it today. I'm thinking about this maybe 9 years. I want to ask her, Josephine, why did you leave the house and take all those,
This is not the time you ask her questions.
yeah. Would that be all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Josephine, Coca, why did you leave the house?
Mr. Ramos, you can't ask her questions at this time.
J. Tyler Ray's apparent dereliction of duty in his performance as clerk of Superior Court and judge of probate seemed to be due to J. Tyler Ray's admitted conflict of interest. Tyler Ray is the clerk of court?
That's correct.
And so he cannot, you're saying that he cannot give me a letter of testamentary or a letter of administration because there's a conflict of interest.
He can't hear any matters in the case because there's a conflict. He represented your mother in the divorce
And
years
in the
ago
trust. Yeah,
when he was in private practice.
I possess the highest claim to administrate my father's estate without adversary or contest. During the last 10 years of my father's life, I was power of attorney with full power, control, and authority in all matters concerning my dad, Henry Ramo. J. Tyler Ray has not performed purely ministerial duties for myself within the past year, starting with my unlawful abduction on August 10th of 2022, where the clerk failed to record an open court for hearing of my release.
I'm holding you in summary contempt of court with the other side.
What for?
I'm holding you in summary contempt of court. You're in custody.
Don't do that. That's my daughter. She's here to help me. I need her to tell you what happened in all the years that my ex-wife stole my money.
It's 24 hours in custody this year.
Excuse me? Judge, will you repeat that?
It's 24 hours in custody of the sheriff of Henderson County. It could be 30 days.
For who?
Not for you.
My daughter?
Yes.
Oh, God, yes.
I agree.
That's my daughter. I need
Mr.
her.
Raymond, let me tell you something. I gave her a lot of opportunity to be heard the other day. I explained. She doesn't want to hear anything that she doesn't want to hear. And I think that's been a part of the problem for the last number of years.
I'm adjourning my right to a trial by jury, and we will stay and stand for a trial by jury.
Yes.
Not a judicial office,
That's
but a trial by jury.
Be careful with it.
I'm trying my best.
Yeah, of course.
Hold on, please.
I'm getting a little annoyed here.
I know, sir.
Then don't do that to her.
She did it to herself.
She did not. She's here as my daughter. She's my flesh and blood.
Sit down. Sit down. Let the record reflect that I've spent 2 days looking over the files. There's been at least 6 attorneys, and competent attorneys, 2 of whom have become district court judges. 1 has become the clerk of court. All very, very competent attorneys have had to bail out of this case and not try to resolve the case. And on Tuesday, I guess it was Tuesday.
On August 17 of 2022, J. Tyler Ray refused to perform purely ministerial duties to make and produce certified copies of court record after I asked for 2 days to have certified copies produced. Exhibit 20.
You can't get it from the criminal section?
We're all one division, so
When will your paper come in?
I'm not sure. We're waiting on it. It should have already came. It's delayed for some reason, not sure on their end, but we don't have any to make large copies like this. We have to really use what we have to make our necessary copies for the next few days until we get our shipment.
So you're saying for the next few days I won't be able to get a copy of anything here?
No, not this large of a file.
Okay, I need a few copies today.
Well, you can look at them, or you can take pictures of them.
No, I need copies of them.
Well, I can ask, but that's what I was
Who do you have to
Hold
ask?
on. I tried to call you back, but the voicemail is not set up, so she couldn't leave you a voicemail. And it's the same answer that I just told you. I can't do copies today.
You can't do any copies
No,
for me
I
today?
cannot.
Or for anybody else that walks in here?
No, we have a lot of emergency orders we have to make copies for, 50Bs, 50Cs.
What about if I go to
can't
Office
do-
Depot and get my own paper and you can put it in the machine?
I'm not sure, and that's just what I was told.
I require papers today. I've got to get some papers today to mail out.
I mean, I can ask her, but we have to use our own paper because we have to charge and have our own system in doing that. So
Okay.
just come back.
J. Tyler Ray failed to perform duty of stamping and filing said contempt of court paperwork. Further evidenced by the fact that I have yet to receive any documentation about the appeal I attempt to file on August 23 of 2022.
So we can clock this in, stick it in the file.
Sure.
Can't guarantee that you'll ever go back before another judge because the appeal period has passed.
On June 12th of 2023, Honorable James Marshall, who appears to perform his duties impartially and courteously, encouraged myself to go obtain a letter of administration from Clerk of Court J. Tyler Ray. The Honorable James Marshall assured me multiple times that clerks would be professional, helpful, and nice. I did not believe him because of past experience, so I asked him to accompany me, which he would not do because he immediately recognized a conflict of interest.
To consider, I can't order them to do anything, but to consider appointing the public administrator. If that person qualifies, or you or anyone else in the family qualifies to administer the estate, then you can handle the estate and be substituted into the action. But I have to follow the statutes, and that's my understanding of the statutes. I want to give you your day in court, okay? I do. But until you have the necessary administrative process complied with, I can't do anything, okay? So the estate has to step into the shoes of your father, okay? And that takes a procedure to be completed in the clerk's office, okay? So I need you to go down there and talk to them. They're very nice down there. They will gladly talk to you. Trust me, they will, okay?
Would you come with me? Because
I cannot do that, ma'am. I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm honestly very concerned.
I
I've been
understand, ma'am.
arrested 3 times.
Ma'am,
Accepting the good faith and credit from the Honorable James Marshall about Clerk of Court J. Tyler Ray in his office, I move forward administratively to seek and acquire letter of testamentary on June 16 of 2023. Clerk of Superior Court J. Tyler Ray has admitted to a conflict of interest and has failed to perform his, Mr. Ray's, duties as Clerk of Court. This is the cause of substantive injury to my material rights. The appearance of a clerk having a conflict of interest in control over the right of a family member to carry out a man's final wishes, whom the clerk was trust attorney for adversarial parties in man's only property left on earth, where man testify of adverse parties' fraud in court on August 10th of 2022. This appearance is unjust, vile, contrary to law, and its practice is law counterfeit. Henry Ramos' last possession property right on earth is his court action. I have right by birth, appointment, personal interest, and the sacred bond of trust entered into between myself, Henry Ramos, our Creator, and all who are blessed to witness, to prosecute, and administrate Henry Ramos' only property interest remaining on earth. Relief sought. I seek relief in the form of 1. Production of letter of testamentary or administration, so I may fulfill my duties and obligation to my dad, Henry Ramos, so he may finally rest in holy peace. 2. Inquiry into what happened to the appeal I filed on August 23rd of 2022 and the lawfulness of my capture to cause appeal. 3. Inquiry into the public's missing recordings of my release on August 10th of 2022. 4. Inquiry into missing certificate of death from Henry Ramos estate file 23E576, unless it not public for privacy reasons. 5. Inquiry into District Court File 13, CVD 867, and command that any judicial officer that may administrate proceedings in the future do so by due course of law. I also ask to remove all actions Henry Ramos or myself are party to from J. Tyler Ray's venue. I further ask and seek any additional relief from court deems appropriate. The government is a trust, and the officers of the government are the trustees, and both the trust and the trustees are created for the benefit of the people. Henry Clay. I offer my declaration for extraordinary writs, with faith and trust that natural law works for people naturally. Please forgive my unskilled paperwork. I'm not an attorney and only understand law as simple mankind, right and wrong, just and unjust, truth and lies. And I know it to be unlawful to deny Henry Ramos' right to have trust restored that were wrongfully taken from Henry in his life. On August 10th of 2022, when my captors were releasing me, I looked straight at Fritz Mercer and said something in the way of, what a sad day it is when a judicial officer forcefully violates your rights to take away the rights of another. After I said whatever I said, I saw Fritz Mercer put his head down. There were 13 witnesses there that day, Abe Hudson, plus court personnel, but no one required a law degree to understand that Fritz Mercer's actions were unlawful and law counterfeit.
I'm bringing this young lady back in the courtroom.
When a judicial officer arrests somebody for exercising their right to sit down here.
You can sit there if you want and put those back on until you get those back on. Then once you get those on, you're free to go.
I'll just go. I believe Fritz Mercer thought I would yell at him with anger after a transgression of law to the nature of Fritz Mercer's actions. But it truly pains my heart more than it burdens my mind, as I am at peace with myself and peace with my Creator. I truly wish I had a record of what I said to Fritz Mercer that day. But Clerk of Superior Court J. Tyler Ray fails at his duty to make the hearing public. Law requires A, every wrong done has a remedy. B, law looks to substance and not forms. C, technicalities are not favorites of law unless used to prevent injustice. And D, no person may benefit or profit from their wrongful actions. I wish to be made whole Should J. Tyler Ray choose to answer, I require Mr. Ray's pleading be verified. August 1, 2023, Joni Marie Ramo.
Thank you for your attention through this presentation. We appreciate it. If you have not seen Oracle's entire presentation on her declaration for extraordinary writs, I highly suggest that you go back and you watch them and the YouTube videos in which I've published about Henry Ramo's case, because this is incredibly important. Oracle is trying to bleed her heart through pen for you. Put it on a piece of paper. Here's what the injustice is. And this is an injustice against Oracle because the rights they're taking away from Oracle and Baba, they're your rights. They're taking them away from you too. And not only that, but the public record that keeps going missing, it's your record. They're just there to maintain it for you and administrate it for you, and it appears that they are failing at their job on that. But this concerns you. This concerns you. There is no doubt about it. JC asked something to the effect on one of the first videos if I was representing Oracle, but I can't do that. See, representation of persons is a fiction in the law, and fictions do not have rights. They have administration. This is the entire problem that I see in our society. It causes a lot of issues. And if you do not claim the right to have a right now by supporting Oracle in her exercise of rights, supporting yourself and exercising your right to have a true and accurate public record. So who knows, maybe it's true and accurate when you get down there. If you wish to preserve these rights, the rights to not have the government interfere with private contracts, private property, your right to go down to a courthouse, verify actual fraud, and get remedy. If you wish to preserve rights like those, I hope you keep paying attention and do something about it, because if you do nothing, they will not be preserved. I've been doing this a really, really long time, and a couple of years ago, about 2.5 years ago, this woman, Angela, my little angel, she goes and gets arrested because she released an audio of her daughter verifying that her dad molested her in a court. And because she did this, because her daughter did this, they arrested Angela, charged her with felony charges, sent her daughter to a place accused of child trafficking, child slavery, or child labor laws, something like that, and then sent her to go live with the person that she said molested her. This is the type of justice your courthouse is producing. Your courthouse is producing. They're doing it in your name. A little bit after that, there's a man named Philip Kent. No kidding, this man got arrested for exercising his right to take his children camping. They're taking away your right to camp with your family. They're taking away your right to be at peace, to be left alone. And the public, they kind of threw a little bit of a fit about this. You know, Angela's charges got dropped, Philip Kent, and got attention and let out a little bit early. But nothing really changed. In law, the public absolutely acquiesced and said, hey, we don't care about our right to administrate our family privately that much. You know what? We're going to go ahead and decide the government can handle that for us. And that's incredibly scary. That's a very, very scary place to be. And the reason I bring this up is because right now you have the right to acquiesce or not to rights like private property, private contract, your right to walk into a court and verify crimes without being molested, without being abducted. We have a system that produces injustice and allows the wrongdoer to get away. And right now, the question is to you, are you going to allow Tyler Ray to get away? Because we walked in, Oracle and I walked in to the courthouse this past week, and here's what we found.
23. Okay. Okay. So there is another date on there.
Why is this filed on here?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Let's see. And they included this one. Oh, this. Sabrina.
This is not filed in the proper place. These are all supposed to be in the 1183.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which means that the 1183 is not complete. Like we just got 3 incomplete copies.
Okay, let me see this.
Oh, sure.
Sorry, it's getting stuck on the.
Close it.
Yeah. Okay, is it just? Okay, so is this in this file or should that go in
No,
the other file?
that should be in the
That should be in the
1183 file.
And the,
And this page as well.
That
Yes.
page as well.
yes,
This page.
Mhm.
yes.
What about this one?
And that should not be in the 1183 file, but that should be stamped and put in this file.
It's not stamped in.
Right here, these are the original documents that you just saw, copied together, stamped, and in the file. That is the verification of service. That is whenever you file a lawsuit, the lawsuit isn't actually open, it's not moving, it doesn't have any force or effect, it can't get a court, it can't find a court until you file the verification of service. I verify that that lawsuit was served, and this particular lawsuit was verified not only by myself, but also by a clerk who accepted it around 4:31 p.m. August 1st. That's when the clock starts ticking for the answer. And of course, I already knew that they weren't going to answer. That probably wouldn't be a really smart thing to do, because then it means that we have a controversy we require a court to settle. But it might have been a good idea, because we still have a controversy we require a court to settle. And that controversy is, and this is why that document being in the wrong file is so important. Let me just point it out to you, a few very key points in law. You see, the whole thing started because Tyler Ray would not issue Oracle Joni her right to administrate her father's property upon his passing. And because of that, she sued him. And when she sued him, she realized that the one document it takes to create that action is a certificate of death. The state cannot recognize that somebody has an estate that they can allow you to administrate until they have proof on their record that a certificate of death was issued. Kind of makes sense, right? And another reason Oracle sued him was because he had just admitted to a conflict of interest. He said, I can't handle this administrative process with you because I have a conflict of interest. And then Oracle goes on to sue him. And after she sues him, what we discover is the one document, because she's been asking the court, hey, let's set up a hearing, let's set up a public hearing, let's have a record, a court where we can place verified facts upon the record and move for a true and lawful judgment in law. The things that we should have the right to do by law. They wouldn't open it for her. They said, oh, there's an administrative process that hasn't been complete. Read these 10 pages and figure it out. Get back to us. I don't know. But filing the verification of service, that's an administrative process. It has to be complete. The case cannot have action to it until that's done. Can't go ask the court to do something without giving the other side the chance to say something. That's how bad it is. So Tyler Ray, the high clerk, admits to a conflict of interest. It's painfully obvious that he was trying to deny Joni her right to execute her father's estate altogether. Completely obvious. Then he gets sued for that, and he takes out the necessary document upon information and belief that it takes for that action to be live. And we're not going to get anything done about this unless you do something about it. So let me tell you what's about to happen. See, when all 3 branches of government's corrupt, the last choice we have to go to is the 4th branch. If we can't get the media on this, if you do not call the media agencies that we're going to list below, if you do not call them until you see something about this on the news, it's never going to happen. It's kind of up to you whether you have rights in the future, whether your children have rights in the future. And I'm really, really praying and hoping that you're the type of individual who wishes to secure and protect your rights. So the fourth branch of government is the media. Let's give them a call.
News 4.
Yes, I would like to report a news tip. There's a lawsuit up in Henderson County. It's CVS, or 23 CVS 1183. And in that lawsuit, it looks like the superior clerk is not doing his job. And I just saw a little video of where he filed one of the most important documents in another case, or I guess somebody in his office did. Anyways, it kind of appears that this woman, Joni Ramo, is not having her right to access a court of law being upheld, and I wish that somebody looks into that because it's really concerning to me.
Yeah, we actually had someone call about this yesterday. I've already passed it along to our news team. But could I take down your name and phone number in case you'd like to chat more about this with our news team?
Yeah, my name is Jonathan Cross.
And is there a phone number you could leave with me?
Yes, it's 864-498.
All right, I'll make sure that gets passed along, along with all this information that we've already collected so far, as well as this new information you've brought us. But thank you for leaving this tip with us.
All right, thank you.
Yep, you have a good day. Bye.
You too, bye-bye. And it's just that easy. It's just that easy to secure your rights and the rights of your posterity, but you got to start working on it now. He who does not exercise his rights has none. And if we don't claim that we can claim rights and we don't uphold each other's rights when our brothers and sisters are claiming rights, then we don't have them. We don't have them. Call the news, tell them, hey, I wish to see what's going on with that. Is this woman going to get a court of law? Is the public ever going to get an answer? Let me know. Let me know when I see it on TV. We are just conspiracy, and we just wish to conspire to bring heaven down to earth.